relax the shoulders, relax through your knees, and let's just start with the arms. So from here, just take some nice big circles, rolling the shoulders back, and as you roll the shoulders back, really opening through your chest. Now start to put your elbows down towards your ribs, and feel the shoulder blades pulling right down to the back of your rib cage. Then we're going to add a twist, so this time elbows stop in line with your shoulders, twist to your right, drop the arms, twist to your left. Now as you twist, keep the hips nice and square to the front. And as you twist to your left, pull your left elbow back, and then pull your right elbow back. And again, bigger circles, more twist as you feel ready. That's heating the shoulders back up. Once more, each way. Let the head turn. Last one to your left. And now this time, bring your hands forward. So you're going to tuck in the chin and then palms up to the ceiling. So just feel again the movement through the upper back, through the neck. Breathing in as you roll forward, and then breathing out to open. And as you roll back, again pull the elbows down towards the back of your rib cage now. Almost like you're trying to get your elbows to touch behind your back. So you should open the front of the chest and the shoulders even more. One more time, and rest. Bring the hands down. From here, take your feet wide. Turn the feet slightly out. Bend your right knee, and then bend your left knee. Now keep the feet flat on the floor, and just let your hips move from side to side. Not too quickly, because I want you to feel the stretch here, and then here. The stretch now be your right leg, and then over into your left leg. Breathe into your nose, out through your mouth. Now turn your upper body, look over your left shoulder, and then over your right shoulder. And as you look over the shoulder, push back into the edge of the foot at the same time. So you create even more length, more release. Once more each side. And then from here into the centre, nice big lift with both arms. Bend the knees, come into a squat. Circle the arms, reach and then press. So again, bend both knees, lengthen, and release. Now push the knees out nice and wide. Your knees push out towards your toes. Find that length at the top. Feel the in-breath, use the out-breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time. And then stay here. Bring the arms out straight, push your hip over to the left, bring your hand down towards your right shin, or maybe the ankle. Now push your chest forward, so what I want to see is the back rounding. So you need to bring your hand higher up and lengthen your spine. It's like you're pulling the crown of your head away from your hip, making that length, make it as long as possible even. Slide the hand down if you can. And then from here, bring the hand down and then roll your shoulder back. Again, if you're up here, that's fine. You're still getting the rotation into the spine. Nice and strong through your legs. And the hips still pushing over to the left. Feel the front of the shoulder. Feel it open and stretch as you pull the arm back. Breathe out each time you pull the arm back. And see if you let your head turn with the arm. The last time. Hold. Bring your shoulders back above your hips. Bend your right knee now, and then come into a side bend. Reach in, and then extend it. So keep the weight in the heel. Relax the toes through that right foot. And then strengthen your left leg. Feel like you're pushing the floor away with that left foot. So you feel grounded and strong through your legs. And nice and flowing through your upper body. Palm pressing down to the floor. Arm towards the ear. And your last one. Come into the back. Fully extend. And then bring the arms back in line with the shoulders. And come into the centre. Turn the feet back out to the diagonal. And come down to your squats. Reach the arms up. bend the knees, drop the hips and reach tall again. We're going to add in a side bend, so at the top, bend over to your right. Bend both knees, reach up and over to the left. Now as you bend from side to side, try and keep the hips nice and centred. So you're pressing evenly through both of your feet. And that just helps to encourage more movement into the spine, more grounding through the legs. And it feels nice. Lengthen and then into the bend. Deep bend into the hips. And we're going to go with one more over to the left. So your last one to your left hand side. Reach up high, ease over to the left, into the centre, and bring the arms out wide. Push, turn your right foot forward, push the hip to the left and reach down, towards your knee, or maybe a little deep to your ankle. It's as deep as I'm going on this side. Now roll the shoulder back. What you don't want to do is let this right shoulder roll down to the floor. So if it's coming forward, roll it back so it's in line with your ear, reach up to the ceiling, and then try and slide towards the ankle. And that's where hopefully you feel a little bit more stretch, either in your inner thigh or into your hamstrings. Then add the rotation. And don't rush. Feel the turn all the way through the spine. Eye gaze to floor. Breathing in as you lower down. Breathing out the left. And still pushing back into your right foot. Last two. And your one. Stay at the top. Bring the arms up and around the shoulders. Turn the left foot out to the side and stack the knee over the heel. When you're ready, your side bend and then the length. So arm towards the ear. Elbow to your thigh. Breathing in, out to the end. In to lift. Breathe out to move into your pose. And again, that's just going to help the muscles to relax more, to find a bigger range of movement. I almost feel a massage coming through your spine, but still really strong and grounded through your legs, always strong and grounded. And once more each way. And as you come into the centre, both hands down and bring your feet in. So your feet in under your hips, breathe and lift the arms, sit your hips back and then dive forward, hands to floor. Roll up through your spine, reach the arms up, sit the hips back, then dive forwards and restack your spine. So hips behind the heels, dive, tailbone tucks, and you restack. Feeling that coming through the spine. Keeping the weight placed in your heels. And also just feeling the movement through your shoulders. One last time. This time we're going to stay at the bottom and come forward. So from here, we're going to come down to the knees, taking your legs back and bring your knees down onto the floor. A lift of your belly. Pull the hips back to the heels and then gently push your chest forwards. So we want to find a cat stretch as we move back. Now I know I'm overly flexible through my upper back, so I really tend to round the upper back. But as you go back, try and think about tucking under with the tailbone just as much. And as you tuck under the tailbone, and then move your hips back to your heels, we get more stretch and movement through the lower back. As you come forward, little lift of the chest. Couple more. And then this time, staying in the centre. Now from here, if you bring your right foot out to the side, and we'll change position so you can see. Right foot out to the side. From here, the hips again, just slightly move back towards the heel. Feel like your hips ease across slightly to the left. And as you feel your hips sliding across to your left, push down to your right foot at the same time, and then you feel a lot more length and stretch down the back of your right leg. It's almost like you're swaying across to the left each time. Now from here, you can start to reach your hand over to your right ankle, or just towards the shin or the knee. But turn your upper body now. Look past your shoulder. Push the bottom back and over to the left. 4, 3, 2, and your last one. And then from here, bring your left foot forward and sit onto the bottom. So that left leg forward, you can let the foot sit forward or right into your thigh. Right hand reaching down towards the ankle, and then try and touch the ceiling and move into a side bend, reaching over and then pulling the elbow back. So the right hand slides towards the ankle. Push the fingertips away. And again, don't go too quickly because you want to allow the muscles to stretch. Let them stay in that stretched feeling. And then pull back. And maybe each time, moving a tiny bit further. 4 to go. Breathing out. Breathe in as you come back. And your last 2. From here, we're going to move in to our hamstrings. So we're going to bring both feet forwards. Feet just hip distance apart. Pull your sit bones back, and then let's have a little swim. You're going to reach your right arm forward, and then your left. Now as you're reaching forward, you're also trying to turn with your upper body. Keep the front of the chest lifted, so you're not over-rounding through the upper back. And then pushing your fingers just slightly past your toes if you can. And looking all the way around the room. Breathing out each time you push forwards. Again, it's that out breath that allows you to stretch and move a little further. No rush. 3, 2, and your last one. And then resting in the centre. Lift both arms. Now reach both arms forward, let your nose come towards the knee, roll through the spine and lift again. Reach, roll back. When you pull back, pull from your tummy, draw your belly button back to the spine, and then let's go for height. Try and touch the ceiling here, lengthen, use that length to come forwards. Taller, right to the fingertips. Use every inch of your body. Make it longer. Then reach further. And give me 2 more. And then we're going to move into our hips. So as you come back this time, we're going to stay here. Bring your left foot in. Now your right foot can just sit in front of your left. Or you can bring your right foot onto your shin or up onto your thigh. The main thing is that we'll level the knees. So if you've got your foot here and your knees up here, lower the foot to the point where you can bring both knees down. You used to be able to do this so easily. How things change. Now again, with the length up through the spine. Nice big breath in, both hands, just down by the ground. Keeping the hips nice and anchored. We're going to sway again over to the right and then towards the left. Just notice as you're moving your upper body, your hips aren't rocking. It should be super glued to the floor. So it's going to help to encourage more stretch through the hips, but again, more movement through the spine. And let's get the movement into the neck, ear towards the shoulder, fingertips reaching away. Couple more again each way. And your last one each side. And then we're going to rest in the centre. and do some nice simple circles. With your left hand, reach forwards as far as you can, and then roll the shoulder back. And again, reach, push, 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 and roll back with your shoulder. Now pull the elbow back, point it up to the ceiling, and almost feel like you're brushing your hair. And again, feel the shoulder stretching. Feel the front of the chest opening. Use the breath. Pull with the elbow. One more. And then resting. Kind of. If you want to, now the hips are easing, you might want to try and bring the foot a little higher to bring that stretch back into the hips. Hands can stay on the knees or come onto the floor. Hips anchor to the ground, and just take a little rock forward. So you just bend the elbows and allow yourself to lower forwards. Try not to bend the back. So you can still see how you're keeping the front of the chest nice and lifted. Breathe in as you come forwards. Breathe out, push away. And you should feel each time you lean forward, that stretch becomes a little bit deeper in that right hip. Breathe in through the nose. Out through your mouth. On your next one, stay forward. Now wherever that is, it might be here, and you might feel the stretch increased around that right hip, and you might want to stay there. Or you might be able to bring the hands, the elbows forward. Wherever you are, push the hips back into the ground. Breathe into the chest, let the chest lift a little bit more. Again, breathe in. Use the out breath when you're ready to go deeper. Because the out breath is just like you're relaxing, almost like it's a big sigh. It's like, just let it go. And again, breathe in. Let go of any tension. And let's walk the hands back in. Let's do that on the other side. So when you're ready, unravel your legs. Come back onto your hands and knees. So bring the hands forward. Knees back beneath the hips. Shoulders away from your ears. A cat stretch, tailbone tucks as you pull your hips back towards your heels. Just allowing yourself to move backwards and forwards. When you come forward, little glance up to the ceiling. And move backwards. Nice big scoop under with your tailbone. Breathing out each time you sit the hips back. And your last one. So you've got the movement now, the spine moving backwards and forwards. Now I'm going to take the left leg out to the side. Push the edge of your left foot down as it lifts the arch of your foot. It helps really strengthen that left leg. So again, same movement, pull the hips back towards the heels. And again, if you want more stretch, do a little curve, so you slide the hips slightly over to the right. But notice when you're pushing the hips to the right, you're not letting your left foot lift off the floor. You're going to anchor the foot, so when you push the hips to the right, it's lengthening that distance from your ankle to your hip. Kind of nice. Again, breathe out the hips, push across. Keep pressing that little toe down to the floor. And then let's start to add the arm. So you're going to reach. Push your hips more across to the right. And then see if you can turn your upper body a little and look over your left shoulder. Maybe reaching to the outside of the ankle, right across the heel. Allow that upper body to move. Give me 3 more. 2. And your last one. Oh, I certainly needed this stretch today. Sit back onto your hips when you're ready. So the hips come down. Left foot, chance to point into the ceiling and put that right foot wherever feels comfortable. Reach into the ankle, reaching up to the ceiling, and then just moving in and out of your side bend. And again, feel the stretch and then pull back. So just allow the muscles to stretch a little bit longer and then pull back. Notice the hips rocking, so Again, anchor your weight into your sit bones. Breathe out when you're ready to stretch. And again, feel the out breath. It's like you're letting go each time. Out, let it go. Try and push that right buttock a little further down into the floor as you move over to your left. So again, that's just pulling the hip away from the rib a little further. So getting an even deeper stretch into the waist. One more time, just because it feels good. And then resting in the centre. From here, I'm going to bring both legs out in front. Gently pull the sit bones back. And we can go swimming again without water. So reaching from one side, over to the other. Try and keep as much space as you can between your ribs and your hips. If you let your ribs drop down, we end up stretching all the muscles in the upper back that we worked hard through Pilates to strengthen. So we still want to think about our posture and feel as more of a twist and a push forward with the fingers, but keeping that lift of the rib cage. And what you're searching for is stretching your hamstrings, not how far you can get your nose to your knees. Let the head turn. And each time just pushing the hand a little further forwards. Breathing out nice and strongly. Once more on each side. Both arms, nice big lift. Let the arms fall forward. Now you can let your nose come towards your knees and then roll through the spine, restack, come up tall, and then reach forwards and then pull back with your belly. Breathe in, let it go. In through the nose, lift the arms, and out breath, relaxing. And just enjoy feeling your body move. Notice where the movement's coming from. Feel your spine rolling and restacking as you rise. And then try and aim for a little bit more length all the way up into the fingertips. And we'll have a couple more of those. And then as we come into the centre, we're going to bend the knees. So from centre, you're going to bring your right foot in first, and your left foot sits in front this time, or on your calf, or up on your thigh. Try and level the hips, so your weight even through your sit bones, hands out wide. Keep the hips still, and again let's move with the spine and the neck. So let the weight of your head ease to the side, ear towards the shoulder. And again, stay in the stretch for a little, don't rush. It's about feeling the stretch each time. Just a nice flow from one side over to the other. Breathing out through the mouth. And as you breathe out, that's where you want to drop a little deeper. In to lift, out to let it go. Opposite way to Pilates. Test the brain and the body. Certainly test mine. And one more each side again. So hands can come down. If the hips are starting to loosen, you want to readjust that stretch, you can bring that foot up a little bit higher. How does she know? Take your hands wide. She just doesn't realise I spent 10 minutes looking at pictures first. Hinge forward. Keep the hips down on the ground. And let your chest come forward towards your shins. Like to get involved. Breathing as you lift your chest. And breathe out, let your weight come forward. It's like your heart's coming down towards your shins. And you're making some noises, Lexi dog. And a couple more. And then we can move into our circles. So when you're ready, with your right hand, you're going to, oh no, sorry, you're going to bring the hands forward first, forward the circles. See if you can bring your elbows lower to the floor. If not, just open the hands. But see if you can also push and imprint your sit bones down to the floor. And then maybe walk the hands a little further forward. Breathe up the length of the spine. And then breathe out, sink down. Ooh. Again, feeling it in the hips hopefully. Breathing into the nose. Maybe walk the hands a little further forward. Relaxing wherever you can now. It might be your neck, it might be your shoulders, it might even be your face. Just relaxing the muscles around your jaw. And the head feeling a little heavier. And then when you're ready, you can walk your hands back up. Now we can go to the circles. So it's your right hand this time. No, it's not your left hand, sorry. Your left hand's right hand, no, it's right. It's your right hand, it's this one. Circles around and then roll back with the elbow on the shoulder. Reaching, rolling. Breathing in, breathing out. In through the nose, out through your mouth. And again, feel the front of the shoulder opening, so you're rolling the elbow and the arm back, like you're brushing your hair, and the arm come over the head. Kind of like this one. So let's have one more of those. And then let's come back into the hips. So we're going to release the legs, take the knees wide, so the feet just outside the hips, and we're going to roll the knees. Press both knees down to the floor, lift the chest, and then over to the left and lift the chest. So it's like you push the knees down and pull the head up. Now start to squeeze the bottom a little bit. It's like you're thrusting your hip forward, so it's starting to get into our hip flexors. So from the knees being wide here, we're just going to roll over to the right, squeeze the left buttock, and then roll to your left and squeeze your right buttock. Again, that feeling that you're pushing the hip forward. So you start to get more release into the hip flexors. Now turn the head and look back over your shoulder. So you get a little bit more rotation now through the spine. Staying tall every time you rise. Now this time as you come over to your left, we're going to stay to the left hand side. And I'm just going to move back onto my mat, because I don't know how, but I was just moving forward. Take a hold of your right foot, pull the right leg back. 3, 2, and then allow your knee to land on the 1. Gently squeeze your right buttock. It's like you're thrusting your hip forward towards your heel. That's to help to lengthen the front of the hip and the hip flexors. Now lift the front of your chest. Roll both shoulders back, and then gently pull your heel in towards your bottom. And as you're just easing the heel in and out towards the bottom, hopefully you'll find a little bit more stretch through the front of your thigh. Now, if you find it easy, you can stay there, or if you take your hand onto the arch of your foot, then you can pull in, maybe wrap your elbow around your toe, and turn your shoulders to the side. If you can't, just keep hold of the arch of your foot, or if you brought the toes into your elbow, still thrusting your right hip forward, and then lift the front of the ribs up, and try and pull your left shoulder back. So it's making you really square to that left hand side. And then so you can squeeze the heel again back in towards the bottom. Still lots of breath. And as you keep turning to the left hand side and pulling that left shoulder back, it's also going to help to bring a stretch into the front of the shoulder. So maybe take your fingertips now up to the ceiling and almost push your chest and your shoulder forward. That should help release the chest. And then we can release the leg. So let that foot come down. You can either keep this knee bent, and we're going to turn into swan pose, or you can take this leg straight and come onto the tops of your toes. Flex your front foot so you're drawing your toes back to your shin. Roll your hip towards the floor, so you're rolling your right hip down towards the ground. Just to the point where you feel a little bit more stretch into your left hip. Now you can stay with the hands here, or you can now come down to your elbows and continue with that little roll over to the right. And it doesn't want to be forceful. You're trying to encourage the muscles to relax and to lengthen. If you're taking it to too much of a point of pain, it'll send a signal to your body not to allow the muscles to relax because it thinks it might be in danger of overstretching. So you're very gentle, gentle, gentle. And then your body knows it's all nice and safe. And it allows the muscles to relax more. Now this time as you rock across, just stay. You can bring the elbows further forward. You can stretch the arms out long. Maybe the head to the floor, whatever you feel comfortable with. And as you adjust the position of your arms, you should feel that bringing more stretch into your left hip. You can maybe gently squeeze your right buttock and try and encourage the right hip again towards the floor. Breathing in through your nose. Breathing out through your mouth. Again, feeling the in-breath. And let it go. And let's come to the other side. So when you're ready, walk the hands back. Roll back into the centre. A few rolls just to release the hips first. So over to your right, over to your left. Thrust that left hip forward. Turn the shoulders. Press the knees down into the floor. And the next time we come over to the right, we're going to do all the work on the right. So over to the right and stay here. So when you're ready, on that right hand side, nice and long through the spine, take a hold of your left foot and then you can pull that left leg back for 3, 2, and your 1, and land with the knee. Just gently easing the heel in and out towards the bottom. Now again, you might find your back's rounding to get into this position. That's happening, bring the knee further forward, work on your posture first so you're nice and tall, and then move the foot as you feel comfortable. Now you can stay with the hand to the outside of the foot, or take the arch of your foot. So your thumb points up to the ceiling, and you can pull your heel in and out towards your bottom. Breathing out each time you're pulling that heel in. And if you can, maybe tucking it into your elbow. And start to turn the shoulders more to the right now and lift the front of your rib cage. And each time you adjust different parts of your body, feel how your hips are affected. So you can also start to understand when your hips are tight, how it has an effect on different parts of your body too. Especially your posture with your hip flexors can really change the alignment of our spine. So when you're ready, you can just hold on to that now. Turn the shoulders, lift the front of the ribs, maybe turn your palm forward so your fingertips point to the ceiling. And almost push your elbow, if you're holding it here, against your foot. And then push your left shoulder forward so you get even more stretch into the front of this left shoulder. Pull your right shoulder back. Lift the front of your rib cage. Gently squeeze your left buttock and thrust the hip forward. And then when you're ready, you can let the foot go. Bring it down to the floor, hands come down, and we're going to roll the hip. So this left hip rolls down towards the heel and back. Towards the heel and back. And again, it's just a gentle massage to begin with. Just feeling as you roll across to your left, the right buttock gets more of a stretch. Breathing out each time you rock across. In to release, out to rock. Couple more here. And if you want to go deeper, keep the hip gently pushed over to the left. Bring the hands down. Lengthen up through the spine, to the crown of the head. Breathe out, press the hip towards the heel. Breathing out through the mouth each time. In through your nose. and then stay wherever you are. Either elbows down, or you can take the hands forward, let the head rest, let the shoulders relax. Or again, if you prefer, just keep the hands under the shoulders or the elbows on the ground. Gently squeeze the left buttock in, almost rock that left buttock, left hip, down towards the heel. And the results should come into the right hand side. Breathing out each time you rock across. Or you might just enjoy staying still. One more deep breath right down to the hips. Relaxing. And bring the hands back in underneath the shoulders. From here, bring both knees underneath your hips in your own time. Into your cat stretch. Taking a full cat stretch, we're going to circle. So we're going to pull the hips back, push to the right, forwards, and then over to the left. No rush. Feel the stretch between each vertebrae. Push your ribs to the side, and push your heart forward and lift it up, and then over to the left. Breathe in as you go, and let's reverse and go the other way. So it's again just almost looking for a massage for your spine. Just moving in any direction. There's no rules to this one. Just trying to encourage as much movement as you can through that spine. Never forcing it though, just allowing it to come wherever it feels good. And one more time. And then resting in the middle. So from here we're going to walk the hands back. Roll onto the balls of your feet. And lift the hips when you're ready. Heels down, knees soft. Fingers can slide back to the toes. Crown of the head may hang. Lengthen the back of the neck. Relax the face. Relax the neck and the shoulders. And then let your chest sink again towards your thighs. In your own time, breathing it in, breathing out and rising, restepping each vertebrae. And after Pilates and pure stretch, you should be feeling super mobile. Big reach up, big press up to the ceiling, and then both shoulders pull down. And again, breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out and let go. One more time. In breath, in press. Out breath, release. And well worked, ladies. Thank you all very much. Well done. Oh, that was a much needed spin.